The woman's voice changed mid-sentence, and what came out wasn't hers. Deeper, older, speaking in rhythms that didn't match how humans talk. The therapist froze. In 15 years of doing regression work, he'd never heard anything like it. And then the voice said 7 words that made his blood go cold. "We have been waiting to speak." Dr. Chun had guided Rachel into what should have been a normal past life regression. She came to him because she kept waking up at 3 a.m. with the feeling that someone was trying to tell her something. Not a dream, not a thought, an actual presence, trying to communicate. Her husband said it was stress. Her doctor prescribed sleeping pills. But Rachel knew it was more than that. She knew something was trying to reach her. She just didn't know what. The session started normally. Rachel closed her eyes, followed Dr. Chen's breathing instructions, went down the mental staircase he described. 10 steps, 9, 8, getting deeper with each count. By the time she reached 1, she was under. Dr. Chen asked her to go back to a significant past life, a memory that would help her understand the present she'd been feeling. Rachel's body went rigid. Her breathing changed, became slower, deeper, more controlled than it should be in a trance state. Dr. Chen noticed but didn't interrupt. Sometimes regression brought up trauma. Sometimes people tensed before revealing difficult memories. He waited, and then Rachel opened her eyes. But she wasn't looking at him. She was looking through him, past him, at something he couldn't see. Her pupils were dilated, her face completely still, and when she spoke, the voice that came out made Dr. Chen's hands shake. "She is not here right now. We are using her to speak. Do not be afraid." Dr. Chen had read about this: channeling, entity contact, spiritual possession. He'd always dismissed it as fraud or mental illness, but hearing it in person was different. The voice wasn't Rachel's. The cadence was wrong. The tone was wrong. Even the way her face held expression was different, like someone else was wearing her body. "Who are you?" Dr. Chen asked. His training kicked in. Stay calm. Ask questions. Document everything. We are the teachers, the ones who guide. You call us many names: masters, guides, angels, ascended beings. The names do not matter. We exist to help souls learn and grow. And this one, the voice gestured to Rachel's body, has agreed to let us speak through her. She asked for communication. We are answering. Dr. Chun's rational mind screamed that this was impossible, that Rachel was creating an elaborate fantasy, that he should wake her up immediately. But something deeper told him to listen, to let this play out, to see where it led. "Why now?" he asked. "Why is she feeling your presence at 3 a.m.? Because that is when the veil is thinnest, when her conscious mind is quiet, when she can hear us without the noise of her daily life drowning us out. We have been trying to reach her for months, years, but she would not listen, would not open. Now she is ready. So we speak. What do you want to tell her?" The voice smiled. Rachel's face smiled. But it wasn't Rachel's smile. That she is not alone. That she has never been alone. That every question she has asked in the darkness has been heard. Every prayer, every desperate plea, every moment of feeling lost. We heard all of it. And we have been answering, but she was not listening for the answers. Dr. Chen felt something shift in the room. The temperature dropped. Or maybe it was just his perception. He couldn't tell anymore. How do you answer? Through signs, through people, through opportunities that appear at exactly the right time, through books that fall off shelves, through songs that play when she needs to hear specific words, through dreams, through the feeling of being guided. She calls it coincidence. We call it communication. Everything is a message for those who know how to read. And then the voice stopped. Rachel's body went slack. Her eyes closed. Her breathing returned to normal. Dr. Chen waited, counted to 10, prepared to bring her out of trance. But before he could, she opened her eyes again. And this time it was Rachel, confused, disoriented, blinking at the lights. "What happened?" she asked. "Did I go somewhere?" Dr. Chen didn't know how to answer. "What do you remember?" "Nothing. I went down the stairs like you said, and then it's blank." "Did I say anything?" Dr. Chen made a choice. He told her, described the voice, the message, the entity claiming to be her guides. Rachel listened with her hand over her mouth, and when he finished, she started crying. "That's why I came here. That's what I've been feeling. They've been trying to talk to me, and I thought I was going crazy." Dr. Chen asked if she wanted to try again, to go back under, to see if the voice would return. Rachel nodded. She was scared, but she was also curious, also desperate to understand. The second session happened 3 days later. This time Dr. Chen was prepared. He brought recording equipment, a colleague to witness. He wanted documentation, proof that he wasn't imagining it. Rachel went under faster this time, like her consciousness knew the path now, knew where it was going, and within minutes, the voice returned. You brought others to witness. Good. What we say is not just for her. It is for all who are ready to hear. Dr. Chen's colleague, Dr. Sarah Park, leaned forward. She was a skeptic, trained in neuroscience. She believed consciousness was purely biological, but even she couldn't explain what she was seeing. The changes in Rachel's facial structure, the shift in her mannerisms, the complete absence of Rachel's personality. What do you want us to know? Dr. Sarah asked. The voice turned to her. You do not believe we are real. You think this is a trick of the mind, a psychological phenomenon. We understand. Belief is not required. But listen anyway. What we say is true whether you believe it or not. The voice took a breath. Rachel's body took a breath. You live in a time of great change. Humanity is waking up, remembering what it forgot, remembering that physical life is temporary, that consciousness is eternal, that you are souls having human experiences, not humans having occasional spiritual moments. This awakening is causing pain, confusion, fear, because change always does, but it is necessary. It is time. Time for what? Dr. Chen asked. For humanity to evolve, to move beyond separation, beyond the illusion that you are alone and disconnected from everything else. You are not separate. You are all one consciousness experiencing itself through billions of forms. And once enough of you remember that, once the collective reaches critical mass, everything will shift. The way you treat each other, the way you treat the planet, the way you understand life and death and purpose. How many need to remember? Not as many as you think. Consciousness does not work through majority rule. It works through resonance. When enough souls hold a frequency of remembrance, that frequency spreads, awakens others, creates a cascade. You are already seeing it. More people remembering past lives, more people having spiritual experiences, more people questioning the materialist worldview. This is not random. This is the awakening in action, Dr. Sarah interrupted. If you're real, prove it. Tell us something we couldn't know, something that can be verified. The voice smiled again. Proof is not our purpose. Belief is not our goal. We speak to those who are ready to hear, those who resonate with the truth we offer. For others, we remain silent. You will believe or not believe based on your own journey, but we will tell you this. The woman you call Rachel has lived 347 lives. This is her 348th incarnation. In her most recent past life, she died in 1952 in a hospital in Prague. She was 23 years old, tuberculosis. Her name was Annika. She had a daughter who survived her. That daughter is alive now, living in the same city. She is 75 years old. Her name is Helena Novak. You can verify this if you choose. Dr. Chen and Dr. Sarah looked at each other. This was specific, verifiable. Either it was true or Rachel had somehow researched obscure Czech records and created an elaborate hoax. But Rachel didn't speak Czech, had never been to Prague, had no connection to Eastern Europe. The voice continued, but verification will not satisfy you, because when we give you proof, you will find explanations, coincidence, research, fraud. The rational mind always protects itself from what it cannot accept. So we do not offer proof, we offer truth, and truth resonates in those who are ready. The rest will come to readiness in their own time. What else do you want to tell her? Dr. Chen asked. Tell Rachel that her purpose in this life is not what she thinks. She believes she is here to build a career, to achieve things, to be successful in the way humans measure success. But that is not why she chose this incarnation. She is here to remember, to wake up, to become a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms, to help others remember. That is her true work. How does she do that? By speaking, by sharing what we tell her, by allowing us to use her voice when others need to hear. She is a channel, a conduit. She has been training for this role through all her previous lives. Every experience, every challenge, every moment of pain prepared her to hold this frequency, to translate our messages into language humans can understand. Rachel wanted to be a teacher. Did she tell you that? Dr. Chen nodded. She had mentioned it in their first meeting. She is a teacher, just not in the way she imagined. She will not teach children in classrooms. She will teach souls in bodies. She will remind them who they are, where they came from, why they are here. and she will do it by letting us speak through her, as we are doing now. Dr. Sarah asked another question. Why her? Why Rachel specifically? Because she said yes. Before she was born, she agreed to this role. Many souls are asked, few accept. The work is difficult. People will call her crazy, delusional, fraudulent. She will be mocked, dismissed, attacked, but she agreed anyway, because she understood the importance. She knew the awakening was coming and souls would need guides, so she volunteered. The session lasted another hour. The voice spoke about reincarnation, about soul groups, about the space between lives where souls plan their next incarnations, about guides and masters who help from the other side, about the lessons humanity is here to learn, about free will and karma and the purpose of suffering. And then, without warning, the voice stopped. Rachel's body went slack again. This time when she came back, she remembered fragments, not words, just feelings. The sense of being filled with something bigger than herself. The sense of stepping aside and letting something else use her voice. Dr. Chen asked how she felt. Rachel thought about it. Peaceful. More peaceful than I've ever felt. Like I finally understand why I'm here. Over the next few months, Rachel came back for more sessions. Each time, the voice returned. Each time, it shared information. Some of it was personal. Messages for Rachel about her life and relationships and choices. Some of it was universal. Teachings about consciousness and reality and the nature of existence. Dr. Chen and Dr. Sarah verified what they could. They found records of Annika Duvarakova, died in Prague in 1952, age 23, cause of death listed as tuberculosis. They found her daughter, Helena Novak, still living in Prague. They contacted her through a research assistant, asked if she would be willing to answer questions. She agreed. Helena remembered her mother vaguely. She'd been only 2 when Annika died, but she had photos, documents, stories from relatives, and when they described Rachel to her, when they showed her a photo, Helena went quiet. Then she said something that made their documentation worthless as proof but powerful as confirmation. She looks like my mother. Not identical, but something in the eyes, in the expression. I don't know how to explain it. Dr. Sarah tried to maintain skepticism, tried to find rational explanations, but the more sessions she witnessed, the harder it became. Rachel's voice changed completely when the entity spoke. Her knowledge expanded beyond what she should know. She spoke about quantum physics and ancient history and human psychology with depth and nuance Rachel didn't possess in her normal state. And the information was consistent. Session after session. The same voice, the same teachings, the same patient, loving tone. If it was fraud, Rachel was the most committed con artist in history. If it was mental illness, it was the most functional delusion Dr. Sarah had ever encountered. The breakthrough came in session 12. Dr. Chen asked the voice about death. What happens when we die? You already know. You have died countless times. Every soul in a body has died and been reborn many times. Death is not an ending. It is a transition, a doorway. When the body stops functioning, consciousness separates. You leave the physical form and return to the spirit realm. You reunite with your soul group. You meet with guides who help you review the life you just lived. Every choice, every moment, every impact you had on others, not to judge, not to punish, but to learn, to integrate the lessons, to decide what you want to work on next. Is there judgment, hell, punishment? No, you judge yourselves far more harshly than we ever would. Many souls, when they review their lives, feel grief over the pain they caused, the opportunities they missed, the love they withheld. But there is no external punishment, only the natural consequences of your choices. Only the understanding that you will need to balance what you created. If you hurt others, you will choose lives where you experience that hurt yourself, not as punishment, as education, as a way to develop empathy and compassion. What about heaven? Heaven is not a place, it is a state of consciousness. When you die and return to the spirit realm, you experience peace and love and unity beyond anything possible in physical form. You remember who you really are. You reconnect with all the souls you love. You rest. You heal. And for some souls, this feels like heaven. But eventually, you choose to incarnate again, because physical life, difficult as it is, offers growth opportunities that cannot be replicated in the spirit realm. You learn through experience, through challenge, through the limitation of physical form. So you come back, again and again, until you learn all you came to learn. Rachel, listening to the recording later, cried, not sad tears, tears of recognition. Because somewhere deep inside, she knew the voice was telling the truth. She had always known, she'd just forgotten. She started allowing the sessions to be recorded and shared, first with small groups, people interested in spirituality and consciousness, then larger audiences, and something happened. People who heard the recordings reported changes, shifts in their own awareness, sudden memories of past lives, connections with their own guides. The information was activating something in them, waking them up, but not everyone responded positively. Some people called Rachel a fraud, said she was making it all up for attention, said channeling was demonic or dangerous or delusional. Rachel expected this. The voice had warned her, but it still hurt. She was putting herself out there, being vulnerable, offering what she believed was genuine help, and getting attacked for it. Dr. Chun asked the voice about this in session 15. How should Rachel handle the criticism? With compassion. Those who attack do so from fear. They are not ready to hear these truths. Their worldview cannot accommodate what we are saying, so they reject it, violently sometimes. But their rejection does not make the truth less true. Rachel must remember she is not here to convince everyone. She is here for the ones who are ready, the ones who resonate, the ones who hear these words and feel something wake up inside them. Those are her people. The rest will come to their own understanding in their own time, or they won't. Either way, it is not her responsibility. Rachel tried to hold on to that, tried to let the criticism roll off her, but it was hard, especially when family members questioned her sanity, when friends distanced themselves, when her husband asked if maybe she should stop, if maybe this was becoming too much. She went back under in session 20, asked the voice directly, should I stop? Is this worth the cost? The voice was quiet for a long time. Then it said something that changed Rachel's perspective forever. You are not doing this for them. You are doing this for you. This is your path, your awakening, your purpose. Yes, you are helping others. Yes, you are serving. But first and foremost, you are becoming who you came here to be. You are remembering. You are evolving. You are fulfilling the agreement you made before birth. So the question is not whether it is worth the cost. The question is whether you are willing to honor your own soul as path even when it is difficult, even when others do not understand, even when you feel alone. Can you trust yourself that deeply? Rachel, back in her normal state, said yes, she could, she would. The sessions continued for 2 years. The voice spoke about everything, about the nature of reality, about how consciousness creates experience, about parallel lives and alternate timelines, about extraterrestrial civilizations and other dimensions, about the future of humanity, about individual soul paths, about love and fear and the choice every soul makes in every moment between expanding and contracting. And Rachel changed, not just spiritually, physically. Her health improved, her relationships deepened, her sense of purpose crystallized. She quit her corporate job and started doing the work the voice described, teaching, speaking, facilitating groups where others could access their own guidance. Dr. Chen continued to document. He wrote papers, gave presentations, faced his own criticism from colleagues who thought he'd lost his scientific objectivity, but he couldn't deny what he'd witnessed, couldn't explain it away. Something real was happening in those sessions, whether it was multiple personality, deep trance channeling, or actual contact with non-physical entities. He couldn't say for certain, but it was real, and it was helping people. In session 52, Dr. Chen asked a question he'd been holding back. Are you always available to speak through Rachel? Or only in these sessions? We are always here, always available. Rachel can access us anytime she chooses, but she must be in a receptive state, quiet, open, willing to step aside and let us use her voice. In time, she will be able to do this without hypnosis, without formal sessions. She will learn to shift into this state consciously. Whenever someone needs to hear our words, whenever she needs guidance, the ability is developing. Can others do this too? Everyone can. Every human has guides. Every soul in a body is supported by teachers on the other side, but most people cannot hear us. Their minds are too loud, their lives too busy, their beliefs too rigid. They think they are alone, so they close themselves off from our communication. But we are always there, always broadcasting, always offering love and wisdom and guidance. You just need to learn how to listen. How do you listen? Be still. Be quiet, ask questions, then wait for answers. They will come, not always as words. Sometimes as feelings, as knowing, as sudden insights, as doors that open, as people who appear. Learn to recognize our voice. It feels different from your own thoughts, calmer, wiser, more loving. It never criticizes, never condemns, never creates fear. If the voice in your head makes you feel small or wrong or afraid, it is not us. It is your ego, your conditioning, your wounds. Our voice always lifts, always expands, always reminds you of your worth. Rachel learned to access the voice outside of sessions. It started small, moments of clarity when she was meditating, answers that came when she was journaling, and then gradually, she could shift into that state on demand, could feel herself step aside and let the presence come through, could speak the words without knowing what she would say until they came out of her mouth. She started offering private sessions. People would come to her with questions and she would channel answers. Some of the information was startlingly specific. Details about the person's past lives, names of their guides, messages from deceased loved ones. Other times, the information was more general. Wisdom about their current life situation, guidance about their path. Word spread. Rachel went from doing a few sessions a month to doing several a day. She had to set boundaries, had to protect her energy, because channeling took a toll. Even though the voice was peaceful and loving, allowing something else to use her body was exhausting. In one session, a woman asked if her son, who had died 2 years earlier, was okay. Rachel went quiet, shifted, and when the voice came through, it said, "I am here. Your son is speaking. Tell my mother, I am not in pain. Tell her, I am learning. Tell her, I chose that exit. It was my time. Tell her to stop blaming herself. There was nothing she could have done. Tell her, I love her. Tell her, I am not gone. Just in a different form. Tell her I am waiting for her, but not yet. She has more to do, more to live, more to experience. Tell her to stop waiting to die and start choosing to live." The woman sobbed, said those were the exact words she needed to hear, said she'd been suicidal since her son's death, said this changed everything. Rachel, after the session, asked Dr. Chen if what she was doing was ethical. Was it right to give people these messages? What if she was wrong? What if it wasn't real, and she was just telling people what they wanted to hear? Dr. Chen said something that helped her let go of the doubt. Does it help them? Does it ease their pain? Does it give them hope? Does it help them live better lives? If yes, then it is valuable. Whether it is objectively real is less important than whether it is functionally helpful. But Rachel wanted to know. She asked the voice in session 60, "Are you real? Are you truly separate entities? Or are you aspects of my own higher consciousness? Does it matter? Yes, it matters to me. I need to know what I'm doing, who I'm speaking for." The voice was patient. You are speaking for truth. Whether that truth comes from us as separate beings or from your own soul, wisdom makes no difference to the people who hear it. The information is valid either way. The help is real either way. But since you need to know, we will tell you. We are both. We are separate consciousnesses and we are part of you. We are your guides and we are your higher self. We are other and we are one. This paradox confuses the human mind. You want clear categories, separate boxes. But consciousness does not work that way. We are individual and we are collective. We are here to help you and you are here to help yourself. Both are true simultaneously. Rachel had to sit with that, had to integrate it, and eventually she realized it didn't change anything. The work was the same. The help was the same. The truth was the same. Whether it came from external entities or her own deep wisdom, she was being a channel for something bigger and wiser than her everyday self. And that was enough. 5 years after the first session, Rachel had helped hundreds of people, had delivered thousands of messages, had watched people transform, had watched people wake up, and she had transformed too. She was no longer the confused woman who came to Dr. Chen feeling like she was going crazy. She was clear, purposeful, aligned with her path. Dr. Chen asked her once if she regretted saying yes, if she would choose this again, knowing what she knows now. Rachel smiled. "Every single day. This is what I came here for. This is why I chose to be human this time. Not for the easy life I thought I wanted, but for this. For the challenge and the growth and the service. For the opportunity to remember who I really am and help others remember too." And the voice, when it came through in sessions, always ended the same way. You are loved beyond measure. You are guided at every moment. You are never alone. Remember this when you forget. Remember this in your darkest hours. Remember this when you feel lost. We are here. We have always been here. We will always be here. You are part of us and we are part of you. And together, we are creating the awakening. One soul at a time. One moment at a time. One choice at a time. Rachel still channels, still helps, still serves. And sometimes, in quiet moments, she hears the voice even when she's not formally channeling. Gentle reminders, loving guidance. The presence she used to fear at 3 a.m. became the presence she now welcomes. The voice she thought meant she was losing her mind became the voice that helped her find her purpose. The soul knows what the mind doubts. Follow to hear what speaks when you finally listen.